Jennifer here, Belladonna's Botanicals, and this is another episode of Jennifer's Insights because I've got opinions and I'm not afraid to share them. Anyways, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about sigils in magic. And this is more about like the known sigils for different entities because sometimes there are multiple sigils for the same entity. Some of them come from, old grimoires. Some of them are more recent channeled sigils from different occultists and practitioners and authors and stuff like that. You can for sure channel your own sigils or whatnot. And there's sometimes people wonder which sigil is the right one to use. And the correct answer here is whichever one, works for you. Whichever one you feel the most connected to is the one that works for you. Where like you might feel more drawn to a sigil for that is something that's newer, that was channeled by a particular artist or author, versus something that was in a grimoire from 500-600 years ago. So, or you might want to channel your own ones. So that's the short answer. There is, I would go with intuitively what makes the most sense to you, not which one is the correct one, because it might necessarily be, sorry, I don't know why I decided to record a video and untangle some necklaces at the same time, but hey, ADHD is fun. All right, I'm going to put that over there, or we're going to have a whole video of me untangling necklaces, which is probably not that thrilling. Anyways, so it's finding what works best for you, and that's what I really try to put forth in the videos, is because so many people have a lot of questions and are always worried if they're doing it right or they're doing it wrong, or which is the right way to do it. And I would go with your intuition. Like I've seen, where did I put it? Where did I put it? I just had it here. Here it is. So I prefer this sigil for Lucifer. There's other sigils for Lucifer. This is just the one I prefer and the one I connect to the most. Does it mean the other ones are the wrong ones to use or don't work right? No, this is just what I'm drawn to, and it might be a matter of what I'm drawn to visually or how I connect with that particular entity. Now, another thing to consider is not all spirits have sigils or symbols associated with them. Like, you don't really find a lot within, like, say, I'm trying to think of ones because I've had to look them up as I've been making things. Like, you don't find a lot for like the Hellenic, Greco-Roman kind of pantheons, or they might be sporadic. Like, there's a sigil for Lilith, but and there's a sigil for Astarte, but I think that, and then it's slightly different for Astaroth. So it's sometimes hit or miss as to which entities have sigils and which ones don't, and what ones you just feel more connected to. And I would always go with your intuition. Like, who the fuck cares what I think about what sigil you should work with? Just because I like this Lucifer sigil doesn't mean you shouldn't channel your own sigil or use any of the alternative Lucifer sigils. Like this one I think is the Asiatic Lucifer sigil versus the more, I think, like European one. I prefer that one. There's so many sigils people have channeled. So when you do like a Google image search for a sigil for a particular entity, you might see a wide variety of ones. And some of them are really freaking complex, like Beelzebub's sigil or Asmodeus. Fuck, those ones, like, I couldn't draw that. I couldn't even like visually remember it. I can kind of see it, but like I don't know all the details of it. But for me, having a simpler sigil, like if I'm doing visualization, I can visualize the Lucifer sigil as it is. Beelzebub, not so much, but there are other sigils that can be used interchangeably for these entities. So whatever makes the most sense for you is the right answer. It's really that easy. And I try to, I don't mean to be glib. I try to get people comfortable with, their own magical practices, their own learning experiences. And, yes, it's great to have access to a lot of occult practitioners through, like their social media and their YouTube channels and Patreons and things like that. But, I don't like to give people a lot of definitive answers on things that there really aren't technically definitive answers for. I mean, because as you develop relationships with these individual spirits, they're going to be more custom tailored to you. Now, when I work with Lucifer, like on a lot of the offerings I do are rose based. So I associate Lucifer with roses and smoky quartz. Those are things I use with my working with Lucifer. Does that mean everyone does that? No. You might live in a place that doesn't really have access to roses or rose petals. Or you might use something entirely different. Like you might associate Lucifer with something that's a little more solar energy than, like, for me, smoky quartz is a good transmutation stone of transmuting energy. So, like, I don't know, that was just the stone I was drawn to when I first started working with Lucifer, so that's become my Lucifer stone. Does that mean all other stones are not good for working with Lucifer? Of course not. So, a lot of it, as you build your practice and you build relationships with spirits, you'll start to realize these things. And, by all means, take notes of what seems to work better for you, or what you are, what works for you and what you're drawn to intuitively. Like I can draw my own sigils for things. I just usually don't. I have more recently started doing a little bit of sigil work on my own. Well, that's not technically true. I mean, I draw a lot of things, but I don't really. Sometimes I channel sigils. I have no idea what they are. So it's not like I'm like, oh, this is the sigil of Lucifer channeled. I'm like, this is just some gobbledygook that I channeled while completely spaced out. Now I'm playing with my necklaces again, because ADHD is fun. Anyways, you know me, you love me, you know how I am. So, um, I think that's kind of, like a lot of these videos, I feel like I put together and I'm like, you know, do what you want, do what feels right for you. You don't need my permission to do it any particular way. I'm going to give you my opinion of the things that work for me, or, getting you comfortable with doing these things for yourself. And that's all I got on this. So, anyways, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Love y'all.